it's time to try to take care of the county business. We've got a short agenda, and hopefully we can move through it pretty rapidly. I've got to leave around 10:15 or so for a funeral, and I think a couple of supervisors heading to Jackson. So hopefully we can get through this and get through it pretty quickly. With that being said, Supervisor Litter, if you don't mind, would you lead us in prayer?
Dear Lord, thank you so very much for this day. Thank you for all the things you've given us and all the things you've done for us, Lord. Please bring us all together and help us to make wise and good decisions for our county. Thank you for leading us, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Supervisor. At this point, we've got citizen comment period. Anyone want to come and address the board? You've got 3 minutes to do so.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Turner. Good morning, Mr. Turner.
The shaded areas that sun get to, maybe we need to publicize so that people will know about the shaded areas with this ice and all. And if think about the city did a dangerous dog ordinance with these pit rock rides and all that, and people getting to the age that we can't run. So maybe think about a dangerous dog ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? Good morning, sir. Come on.
Your first time here, so.
Would you state your name so we'll know who you are?
Yeah, so my name is Pace Stead. So ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I'd like to express my gratitude to the Oktibbeha Board of Supervisors for granting me the opportunity to address you today. My name is Pace Stead, and I represent 4th Street Partners, a distinguished development group based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here today to discuss a matter of importance, namely the 182 wastewater project overseen by East Oktibbeha Wastewater Association. To provide some context, in September of 2022, 4th Street Partners entered into a contract for the acquisition of 98 acres located on Highway 182 on the outskirts of Oktibbeha County. We made the deliberate decision not to conclude the property purchase until we could secure a commitment for wastewater services. On February 2nd, 2023, we received a letter from Clinton Crosby guaranteeing 4th Street Partners that wastewater services will be extended to the property via Hickory Grove Road. I have a copy of a letter for each of you today. Concurrently, Dwight Prysock informed our team that adequate funding had been allocated for this project. Based off of this information, we decided to move forward with the purchase and engineering. I spoke with Stanley Spradling from Neil Schaefer at the beginning of this month, and he informed me that the 182 project had been completed for the engineering phase and was awaiting submission to DEQ. He explained that the delay for the submittal was attributed to the need to include the Habitat for Humanity project. He informed me that both projects will be submitted by the end of January of 2024 to DEQ. I stand before you today to make a request that funds committed to our project remain intact and are not diverted elsewhere. Our team has already invested a substantial amount of time, capital, and resources totaling over $1 million. The 2 projects are expected to represent an investment of clear over $10 million in future revenue to the county. Furthermore, I have become aware of rumors suggesting that the city of Starkville has instituted a moratorium on approving further projects within the county. It has also come to my attention that this moratorium may not apply uniformly, potentially exempting the university and city projects. This unequal application of policy raises a concern for both our team and our attorneys. Regrettably, I've been unable to obtain a definitive response on this matter at this time. In conclusion, it is evident that both SDI, ADI, and multiple other industries are making significant investments in the area. Oktibbeha County stands uniquely poised to seize this opportunity, and we cannot afford to have the city fail to fulfill its commitments while impeding progress in the county. Today, I implore upon you to stand in our endeavor to safeguard the vitality of our project and steadfastly uphold the county's commitments. I sincerely appreciate your time and consideration in this matter.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stead.
Yes,
Mr. Stead. Thank you so much for addressing the board.
Yeah, I didn't realize there were quite so many people.
Could we get a motion acknowledging his address? Got a motion, got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Motion carries. Training little. Okay. I guess to carry on with that theme, we do have Mr. Dwight Prysock here to come and the board requested he come and appear before us and talk to us a little bit about the East Oktibbeha County Wastewater District. Mr. Prysock.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice, clear, crisp morning. We're making progress on this. This is the southern plans for the line going down 182 from Hickory Grove Road to almost Triangle Drywall and the habitat. They're working on the specifications, and so that project is pretty well underway. The big issue we've got right now is what Pace was talking about. There is a form that has to be filled out, and it ultimately has to be signed off by the city wastewater operator saying they will treat the sewage. At this point, Ed Kemp says they are doing a study and they're not signing off on anything for about 3 months. Why, we don't know. We can't submit to MDEQ unless they will agree to not have the city's signature until the city signs off on it. So that's his moratorium he's talking about. In addition, as I think you know, Clayton Village Water has a moratorium on it because they don't have enough water supply to meet their demand per the Department of Health. So that also will potentially impact development in the East Oktibbeha area. So we're waiting on those to do that. In addition, we're working on the engineering for the south side of the town.
Mr. Price, not to interrupt you, but can you give us a little bit more specifics? Even when you first began, you said there's a project that's going from Hickory Grove Road almost to Triangle, and you just said they are working on it and we are almost finished. Who's your architect and who's your engineer and who's developing the plans? I mean, give us a few more specifics about it.
Neil Schaefer is developing the plans. The plans are done, the specifications are not. They're working on the specifications. Once we have that done, we have to submit to MDEQ. And that will require a signature on our filing as it does for both their project, which is out next to Triangle Drywall, and the Byram project at Hickory Grove Road is 182. So the city's got everything backed up right now, getting it backed up. So
city, is that okay? So I guess, are you saying your hands are sort of tied right now?
yes, sir, on that. They've had it 2 months. So the city, they've had theirs, but we signed up on it probably 2 months ago. And it's been at the city, and don't know. I'm trying to work with MDEQ to see if they will allow us to submit without the city's signature because it's just residential waste, if you will. If it was a commercial waste that might have heavy metals or something like that, they definitely wouldn't allow it because there are certain pre-treatment requirements, and so they would be pretty strict on that. But for residential waste within our contracts, there's no reason not to sign off on it and let the projects go. Because if they sign off on it, MDEQ will have it anywhere from 4 weeks to 6 months before they sign off on it. And that's the requirement that you have to have before you can bid it.
Supervisor Carver.
Get a little background on it. You said it's a moratorium based on capacity for y'all?
No, it's based on, they are doing, they're doing a study trying to determine all of the sources of effluent into the city system. And ours actually goes through Mississippi State. So
I mean, you got a freeze on any kind of new projects, or is that?
We can't get it until the city signs off on it, it's basically a freeze. Yes.
Is that a freeze for just county projects or?
Everything tied to the city of Starkville wastewater treatment plant, which is considered a regional treatment plant because in 1978, EPA gave the city over $6 million to initially build the plant. So MDEQ considers it a regional plant.
We asked our attorney to review that contract. If you don't mind, do we need to?
Well, it is a contract, and we probably don't need to, and there potentially will be litigation that's tied to this, and I don't want to say anything that potentially could be an effect either way, but we could probably go into executive session. There's two things that we're going to discuss. If we're going to go into executive session, I have one more, hopefully the last federal lawsuit that I need to update y'all on, and then, of course, this issue is gone.
We need a motion to go into closed session to determine if we need to go on into executive. Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. We're now entering into closed session.
Before you do that, I have some public documents that I want to give to you for your use. And it's the contract, interlocal agreement between the district, between MSU and the city of Starkville. And the big issue here is Section 5, which determines the billing, which they've never done. There should be 6 copies there. We are supplying information to
We've already got a motion and a second, and we need to carry this, and I think probably some of this you're talking about will be disclosure.
So moved.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
And the last thing I had was Denny Daniels come in with his certificate of petition for signatures for the District 3 Election Commission.
Okay, you've heard the request. He's got the proper signatures and everything looks good.
Yes, sir.
Need a motion to allow the
So moved.
petition. Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
And that's all I have.
Okay. All right, Ms. Farmer,
You have payroll changes for approval.
you all had an opportunity to
Motion to
look
approve the payroll change.
Been moved and second to approve payroll changes. All in favor?
Aye.
Williams. Motion by Trainer, second by Williams. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Have Wagner Engineering Group, invoice for the 2023 dam inspection in the amount of $11,080.25.
You've heard the request.
Motion to pay the invoice.
Been motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Now, there is a past due. There is a past due, right?
They just did.
One of them is, current.
There's two separate ones. The Wagner is for the inspection. We have to do annually.
Right.
The Mississippi Engineering Group is the past due professional service
Yes,
for $1,625.
Been moved and second for Wagner, Mississippi Engineer,
Engineering Group.
invoice to be paid $1,625.
Motion by Trainer.
Motion by Trainer, second by Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Need to acknowledge the part-time appointment for the public defender, Ms. Fair. I don't know how she pronounced her first name. Logan.
Okay.
Logan Fair.
That from, state support staff.
She
No, that's.
replacing,
Jerry.
General.
That was sad about Jay.
I was gonna ask on that, Rob, is there anything that we can do or something to recognize Jay Hurdle?
Right, we need to do, I would think that we were going to do a county resolution, but I was gonna also do a state resolution as well, and we make it do it at the same time.
Since he was our employee and our commitment.
Make a motion, we appoint, Ms. Fair to the public defender's
Been
position.
motion and Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little, that Ms. Fair is appointed as part-time public defender. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Also
unanimously.
like to make a motion to acknowledge the services of Jay Hurley, to the county.
Been moved and second, moved by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little, that we offer a resolution recognizing the services of Attorney J. Hurley. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
We need to acknowledge the raise for the head court administrator, Terry Kimbrough. This is for Circuit Court 16.
Motion for approval?
I did have one question about that. I got it and I read it, and is that the one where they already have the money to pay?
Yeah, that's-
Do
It's for
all
the
that?
state.
That's what I thought. And is that continuous every year?
We just
Or is that
acknowledge,
a
just
one-time?
whenever they do it, we just have to acknowledge it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's money from the state, though.
Okay.
We just acknowledge her take raise.
I'm good with that.
It's been motioned by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
That's all I have, just a reminder, tomorrow, Supervisor Frank actually leaving today, but the Midwinter Conference in Flowood, so we'll be out of office from Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay. Road manager, Mr. Collins.
Right, good morning.
Good morning.
Just a brief. I got a couple of folks here, want to get them acknowledged and approved, and it's for beds for the 450s, and just coming up, and maybe getting a car in front of the horse, but price changes is coming on this stuff, and if a lot of this stuff is going up significantly, and so I just wanted to go ahead on and get it done so we could actually get that price locked in. We have two quotes, one from Wren Body Work and the other one from Warren Body Works for beds to go on.
Are these both sufficient and comparable?
Yeah, both of them are.
Move approval for the Warren contract?
Yes.
Second motion.
It's been moved by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Trainer, to move forward with, the purchase of beds for the 450 from, which, Warren?
13,675.
For Warren, $13,675. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
This ice kind of got delayed on the quotes coming in for the trucks themselves, so we're gonna work on getting those and getting them ready for the next meeting. And that's all I have, I think. Well, Supervisor Carver, on that deal on the turnaround, did talk to the bus coordinator, and he kind of dropped the ball on that. It wasn't John. So you can just let the gentleman know as soon as they get us a request, I'll present it to the board, and we'll go ahead and get that done.
I was just gonna say, public note through the storms we just experienced, I was just, well pleased with all our county workers, and, glad it came out on the safe side, and seeing the lady, response on the county lake situation, and just cooperation between local law enforcement agencies and things, and you know, anytime somebody's okay, it doesn't really matter what happened, they're okay and they're safe, but it was a good response from the county-wide for pretty extraneous circumstances for a couple of days. So we're glad no loss of life that I know of. And kept the power on and kept everything running, so good as expected.
Good ice storm. But,
And our ladies that showed up, whenever I was shocked that they were showing up, the roads were ridiculously bad. Some of our admin people, they were working.
And I will let everybody know, if you'll take into consideration that a lot of the office employees, we all live in the county. So there was no way that we could get to work at all.
Can I ask one more question before we adjourn?
Yes, sir.
Like, I had somebody ask me this morning, they missed the trash pickup on Wednesday, so they just get picked up once a week in the county, is that correct?
Yeah.
So there's no expedited process, they'll just be picked up this coming Wednesday?
It'll go back to its normal routes. you know, with those guys having to ride the back of the trucks and with vehicles coming up behind them and possibility of not being able to stop, they just decided it was a little bit too dangerous to get out there and have them out in that tight weather.
Understood.
But yeah, it'll start back its normal routine.
One other thing, I see where we have a covered request. I guess while we're here, go ahead on and get that one.
Yeah.
Who's that for?
I don't know, it's just on the agenda.
Yeah.
It's under the supervisor.
That's just if
Oh,
y'all
that's
have
what
it,
they-
you
Oh, okay,
start
okay.
doing it at that point.
Yeah.
So, do we have any?
I do have one.
Okay.
And I was to bring the name with me, but I don't have it. If you give me an opportunity, that covered request is on Artesia Road.
Okay.
I think I've talked to you about that.
Yeah.
By the Shaw family.
Yeah, you have.
And I'll get that name to you, but I do need a covered request for a covered installment on Artesia Road.
Second motion.
It's been moved and set. It's been.
No, do we need to do them all in one? I got one.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
I've got one
Just
from
take them all.
Mark Hilthold on Longview Edgerton Road.
Mark.
And yes, sir, I'll send you the contact.
Okay.
Right here.
Who was it?
Hilthold, Hiltpold, I believe. He had a question, there's a spot for two culverts, the county provides the first one, but the consumer has to provide the second one, and then we do the covering of the culvert. Is that how that works?
That's how it's worked in the past. If they want a second cover, they have to purchase the cover, but we'll come and install it.
Do they purchase the culvert through us, or is it done
No,
independently?
No, they'll have to go and purchase it.
Sorry.
If they'll purchase that covered and provide us with a copy of the receipt where they purchased it for our records, so they need to do that.
And when one other thing, tell them to get with the road manager, make sure they're
We get the
purchasing
right
the
size.
proper size cover, so we don't have any issues with that.
Mr. President, I know you reach out to go, so I'm gonna go real fast.
Okay.
Y'all remember a few years back? I had-
Let me carry
I'm
this.
sorry.
Was that the last request? Okay. Motion to install two covers at the proper addresses that was given. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, motion, I need a motion. We did,
We
second?
Training.
Okay, all in favor? Motion carries unanimously. I'm good.
What was your address on that culvert?
I'll get more information.
Okay.
I'll get more information to you. Let's go.
All right.
I'll try and
I
read
think
it.
I can check it out.
All right, real quick, a few years ago, an officer passed away in Hattiesburg. He was from Starkville, and it's in Orlando, or Supervisor Trainer's district, I think. The father asked a few years ago if a located Blackjack Road would be renamed possibly. I'm asking for us to figure, that may be in your district, I'm sorry.
Was it Wynn?
No,
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 Oh, yeah,
Tate,
Corey
the
Tate.
young guy.
Corey Tate.
If
The young guy.
we could find, or I'm assuming that we're gonna wanna do this, but we could find a section of road that could be dedicated to him, assuming that this board would like for us to do that. Be looking at that. I'm not asking for you to do it today, but I knew that this had kinda gotten dropped. I dropped the ball and I remembered that we needed to kind of circle back to it. Be thinking about it. If you'll pick a section of this out, I'll make sure that it's on the board agenda next board meeting. You just tell us what you wanna do.
I'll look into that.
Thank you. That's all I have.
All right, okay.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Say my son's on the committee, so I thought about it, but October Hall, County Young Leaders will be in Jackson tomorrow. We'll meet with, Representative Robertson, Governor's Office, Lieutenant Governor. So we've got a group of young individuals through the partnership that are, they've toured Starkville and the county. I know they spent, my son's really bragging on the E911 district and the telecommunications side. But they are going to Jackson tomorrow, so you'll probably see them down there. We may see them at some point, but it's a young group here, about 15 or 20 upcoming leaders that have been selected by the peers. And pretty interesting.
Good deal. Congratulations. Anything anything else from District 1?
No, sir.
Anything from District 2?
I'm satisfied.
Nothing from the chair, anything from District 5? I guess there was one at our last meeting maybe, did you have an opportunity to set up a meeting with the county hospital administrator?
I made calls, but we ended up leaving for a couple of days, and if they call back, we were closed.
Okay,
So I haven't
okay.
been able to do that, but I'm working on it.
Okay, all right.
And I wanted to ask, if there was, a list of things that maybe we wanted them to bring with them, is that something, you know, that we could all maybe send in, or could I collectively get?
I would probably suggest that, when she talked with him, we go ahead and set up one of those presentations that he normally gives the board. It's a presentation that he starts from the top and go all the way through. And that way, during that presentation, you'll have an opportunity to look at the numbers and ask questions, and, you know, so that would be probably the best. Get that presentation in, you'll have a better depth.
I saw the presentation that he gave, I came to the last.
Okay,
you know,
so
out there, but there were a couple of things that I had questions about.
okay.
I did not ask there because I was just an observer,
Yeah.
but I made some notes on some things that I had, was wondering about
Okay.
that didn't get addressed, so I didn't know if that was something I could,
Oh, yeah,
give to y'all,
absolutely.
not asking, to bring simple things that they just do up on the computer.
Okay, well, tell me what you want out there.
I'll send you.
All right, anything else? If not,
Make a motion, we stand adjourned to the 5th of February.
then motion to Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Whitten, that we stand adjourned to 5th of February, what time? 9 a.m.